What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley Cairo if you guys are new, and if you are a returning subscriber, I'm so glad you guys are back for another video. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about starting an online business. I've been on the internet, I guess, since 2009? 2010, at least 10 years, and I've been involved in different areas to eventually create a career for myself. I've done everything from owning my own store, which is actually how I guess technically YouTube was my start, but then owning May Movement, which was an online store, and created a online lifestyle company, which is now my brand, which is me. And I feel like after having this kind of experience, I wanted to share some tips with you guys if you're thinking about either starting an online brand, becoming a personal brand, freelancing online, and working in the internet kind of community with influencers or product development, photography. We're gonna kind of touch on a few different outlets that you guys can have, because I feel like I've kind of been in all of them and have some pretty solid information and tips for you guys. This video is going to be great, especially if you're kind of in that phase, whether you're like a high school or college student or recently graduated, or maybe you're just like not feeling very fulfilled and you want to have a side hustle and then maybe eventually quit your job and do something online full time. This video is for you. If you guys like lifestyle content, health and wellness, this is a great channel for you guys. So I would love if you subscribed and turned on notifications. I'm also a holistic health coach and sports nutrition coach. So I post a ton of recipes and workouts and just healthy habits over on my Instagram account daily, and I would love to have you guys over there as well. Okay, so I think the other thing that really helped is to not stretch yourself too thin when you're starting a brand. So kind of narrow down what it is that you're doing. So like if you're a photographer, maybe Pinterest and Instagram are your two best platforms. If you're a beauty blogger, maybe you want to have your own website where you have, you know, links to the products that you love and tutorials on your blog, and maybe YouTube. So pick two that you're really going to focus on. So for me, that was always YouTube and Instagram. And then I think having a website is such a huge factor because it's this landing page where people can get everything at once, all of your links. They can see a really clear visual for what you represent and what it is that you're about. And I try to make everything super cohesive, and the branding is something that I'm really passionate about. So when I actually started, I had two websites, and I've always been interested in building them myself. So when we first launched May Movement, we had a Wix account, and Wix has been a game changer. I couldn't get over everything we were able to do, the volume of product we were able to ship out because of the orders being processed through Wix. 2011 and 12 was a crazy time for us online because we went viral, and we had a Wix website. So I think having one, you don't have to be a coder, you don't have to be a designer. It is amazing. They have so many templates. We're actually gonna build a website right now so I can kind of just show you guys how convenient it is to have your own website. Start an online store. Maybe you just kind of want like a one-stop shop or a blog even. They have tons of different features and widgets that you guys can add, and we're gonna check those out right now.
All right, so when you first open up Wix, you are brought to the back end where you can see all of the different features that will be within your site. You can also manage different sites if you were to have multiple sites like I have here. I had a HaleyCairo.com, I had the May Movement, and I created different May Movement websites. Never launched them, but if I wanted to edit a new one, that was a possibility, which was really cool. So we're actually gonna go into the copy of one of my old HaleyCairo.com websites and just kind of show you how I go about doing just all of the drag and drop features. Well, I can make all of these photos link to certain pages. So if I wanted to link it to my YouTube channel or back to a May Movement website, in here you can kind of see the back end on what this website has. So, you know, if I have a personal domain for this, if there's a specific business plan for it, all the different preferences. You can go in and, you know, duplicate it again if you wanted to edit it, and that's pretty much what I was doing here. One of my favorite aspects of Wix is how they break up the templates into specific themes, so that way whatever you're creating your website for or whatever your kind of like aesthetic is, there's something for you. And there are so many new ones since I created my website. I was going through them getting like all excited, like, oh, I could do this and that with my website. But we're just going to pick one that I really like. Now you can also hire somebody from Wix to help you create your website, but for today I'm just going to show you guys how you can do it on your own. So when you first launch a brand new template, it will have some filler photos, some text, some colors, but pretty much you can change every single thing about it. So here's what we've got. Nice little headshot here about Jessica Preston, aspiring journalist. So we are going to change this to my name. We're going to make this kind of like my own little resume website. And let's just hypothetically say that I don't like these fonts or the color of that peach background. All of that can be changed. Super simple. As you can see, as you click on things, you're prompted with different features. So everything is kind of right at your fingertips. If there was something on this page that you felt it needed, like a video or something like that, if you go to the left side of the page, it says add, and you can go through all of those lists and see where you can find different things to feature, whether it's like a gallery, a shop button, all kinds of different things to help make your photo or your page come to life. So we're going to play around with these fonts a little bit because I'm just like not feeling the one that it came with. So changing it to a nice bold photo. Now obviously this photo is not mine, so I'm going to change the photo, and all of my previous May Movement photos are still in my gallery, which is really cool. And you can organize your gallery into different folders, which I never did and I really should have. So all of my old photos are just kind of scattered in here, so we're just going to pick this one. You can make this photo larger if you would like, but I think it's pretty good the size that it is. I'm just going to pull some of these things down. As you can see, everything super easy. You literally just drag and drop. Now, as you scroll down the page, you have different aspects of this page, like a little resume area. So all of this information could be changed for you. Then there's a contact page, which the back end of that will have to be figured for your information if you have a newsletter. The contact form is great even if you are just using this for a resume, because your potential employer could use that to contact you. So since I didn't like this peach background, we're just going to play around with this. As you can see, Wix comes with a ton of really great stock photos and banners and different textures that you guys can play around with. But I think we're just going to do something pretty neutral here. Along with different plugins, you will also be able to add your own social links, which is a great feature because in today's day and age, social media is your ticket. So you can go in here and change the link to your personal link so that way people can find you very, very fast. As you edit a website, I recommend going through and previewing it to make sure that your links are working properly. So if you go to the top right-hand corner, you can see the preview button. So we're going to click on that and make sure that the Instagram links properly. And that it does. And you can also view it in a mobile setting because you want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. Now, the other thing I want to show you guys are just some of these extra features here on the left-hand side. Look at all of the different forms and widgets and plugins that you guys can do. I mean, seriously, the options are endless. You could sit here for hours just going through all the cool features, but it will also kind of help you to make sure that you're checking things off that you might not have thought about adding. It's a very good way to just make sure that your website is as optimized and as functional as possible. You can also take photos directly from your Facebook and Instagram, Drive, a Dropbox, and upload it straight to your website. Again, everything can become a link. As you can see over here, there are tons of features that you can do with just an added photo. Pretty cool. Just in case you guys will be using this for a more in-depth sort of website, I want to show you guys the app marketplace. Tons of great plugins, maybe some that you are already using, such as MailChimp or something like that. There is an app for that. So obviously Instagram is on there. You can have like an Instagram feed on your website. Like this, you can see like the live feed. Pretty cool. I like that feature. It's very popular right now on a lot of blogs. So even if you're not really sure if you need a website or you want to make a website, I recommend going into Wix, making a template, playing around in the marketplace, seeing if anything catches your eye, because you never know what you might need this for. I know a lot of people who use this in high school even to do projects and presentations because it's such a unique visual way to execute an idea. So if you guys have any questions about how to use Wix or my experience, leave them in the comments below because I can definitely help you guys out. I've been using them for a long time and I just love everything about the system because it's so user-friendly and it's really helped May Movement grow. So thank you, Wix, for helping me achieve my dreams, and I want to help you guys achieve yours. You guys know that is a huge part of why I make videos, so please don't hesitate to ask any questions.
As you can see, I've had multiple Wix websites. I've gone through tons of transitions because it's super easy to always be changing things in and out. They're always increasing all of the different tools that you have available and making it more automated and more user-friendly. If you guys want to check out Wix, I will have a link down below for you, so definitely check it out, start playing around with it. It's a great way to kind of break into that online community. So when we first started May Movement, I was in high school. I was a senior going into my senior year. I had just overcame a really traumatic relationship and bullying, and I had lost a ton of weight and gotten really focused on health and nutrition. And I wanted to give back to other girls who maybe were not confident and wanted to take control of their food and their health and feel empowered and confident. And so when we came up with May Movement, there was a ton of brand meeting. The thing that really helped us move forward was establishing our core values, what we wanted to project to the world, what we wanted people to feel when either they were meeting us or working with us or checking out our content. And so a couple of the words that we really drove and strive. Oh my gosh, I think I need a nap. And I actually saved a ton of our original notes from May Movement, so that would be interesting to share with you guys. But a few that kind of jumped off of the page for me initially were authenticity. I always wanted people to know exactly who I was, and I didn't want to sugarcoat things. I didn't want to feel like I wasn't being transparent. I wanted you to really know who I am and not be ashamed of any of it. You know what I mean? I also wanted to be relatable, and I think that especially now, it's totally different. I mean, social media has completely changed since I started. Being relatable, just being somebody that like you can come on my channel and feel like we're best friends and hang out and talk, and you guys can, you know, give me advice and I can give you advice, and we can have this open dialogue. And I always wanted it to feel very much like a community, and I think we've done a really good job of that. I also have always really just tried to be encouraging. I'm not always gonna have all of the answers, but I always want to feel like I'm guiding you guys in a path or a direction that is going to be a positive thing for you. And when you watch my content, I always want you to leave feeling like, I'm so glad that I watched Haley's video or checked out this post or, you know, purchased a May Movement bracelet or did an e-course, or maybe you guys found me because you have downloaded some of my recipe ebooks and those recipes make you happy, whatever it is. I always want you guys to feel really encouraged that you're moving towards your goals and living your best life when you are taking in my content. Branding. I actually have an art and design background. That was my initial kind of plug into this, what I thought was going to be my career, and before I got into health and wellness. And art and design is a huge passion of mine, and so I take the branding very seriously. And I recommend going on to other people's platforms, kind of see colors and themes that you like. I remember when we started May Movement, I had two colors that I really was attracted to, and they've really stuck the past 10 years, and that is this like bluey green aqua color, and then I call it hot peach, but it's like a salmon color. And those have been the foundations of the whole brand. Then we also have this very like coastal, organic, easy breezy vibe. So when you go onto Pinterest, you can kind of look at different mood boards, type in personal brand identity, and brand identity pictures and mood boards will pop up, and you can kind of start planning what your branding is going to be. The next tip to being really fantastic online is to be consistent with whatever it is that you're doing. If you're a personal brand and you are only posting one time per week, then it's going to be really hard to get engagement and get people to know you. If you are a photographer and you're trying to get clients and you don't post frequently and people aren't seeing your work, you know, online is your portfolio, so you need to be consistent there. And, you know, engaging with your followers as well. Because the more people get to know you and the more you're on these platforms, the better you're going to do. Make sure that you are offering value. In today's day and age, people see right through people who are not authentic or don't really give you that good feeling by following them. And you only have 10 seconds to grab somebody's attention when they come to your page. So you want to make sure that somebody gets value the second that they land on your page. So for me, for example, I have on YouTube, I always keep my most popular videos at the forefront, and on Instagram, my feed always has either like a recipe, a workout, a life tip, productivity hack, something that is of value. So you always want to be giving away free information, and that goes for anything, whether you are, a brand and you're selling tangible products, you want to have your offer sales and feature different products with the little shop icons. Like, you just need to make sure that you're always giving something to your viewer. Next, you need to have a niche or an audience. And I have struggled with this for a while because I started in school, so I did a lot of like school related content, and I would say that the majority of my viewers were students, and that was kind of a niche for me. And I worked with girls, but as I've gotten older and evolved, things change, but we can't always be giving to everybody. We need to make sure that we're talking to a direct individual or type of people. And I'm not saying that you can't talk to a lot of people, but it just makes your message come across a lot clearer when you have a niche. So think about that, and not just talking about niche for your audience, but also like, who are you? What are you offering to your people? Like, what are your core values? Because that's going to translate into your niche market. So kind of when we talk about branding and figuring out what your message is and your core values, your niche really also kind of translates into that as well, because you're saying who you are and hopefully people are relating to that and you're finding your niche there. Okay, so just a little backstory, so that way we're kind of talking about all the facets of working online. Personality and being authentic and being you is so important, whether you're selling a course, a product, you want to be a YouTuber. I think that just being authentic is going to stand the test of time. Even if you are trying to maybe sell a service, like if you're a photographer, being personable on your social is going to make people relate to you and then want to work with you. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. When I was, I think 18 is when I started working for Wetherspoon. So if you didn't know, you probably can tell when you go onto my Instagram, because I talk about Wetherspoon all the time. They're a natural raw honey company out of New Zealand, and they have a hub here in the States, and I was asked to take some product photos for them. Well, fast forward like 6 or 7 years and I'm still their photographer, and it's amazing because I've gotten to grow with them. We do tons of recipe development. They've introduced me to other brands, so there's that like collaborative effect there, that like ripple effect of working with other companies. It's given me exposure because they have a crazy following and they post my pictures, and the internet is such a magical place in a lot of ways because you have so much opportunity. So don't be afraid to kind of stretch yourself into new areas. I was definitely learning as I went. I mean, I was taking like photography courses and making sure to always better my craft, be up on the new technology and stay relevant. Like I said, I've kind of touched on every facet of the internet, from being a service, like being a photographer. I have all my certifications as a health coach now, and that's kind of where my business is heading. I've also done e-commerce, and I've also been an influencer. I just cringe kind of at that word, but making content and, hopefully inspiring you guys. This is such a fun time, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there and try something new. If it doesn't work, that's okay. I've had so many things not work. It's not even funny. You have to fail a few times for sure. But I definitely would say, start simple, break down your niche, get a website going where people can see who you are, what you're about. It'll help you kind of create that brand identity that we talked about. Check out Wix because it's super easy and anybody can do it. Anyone can create a website. If I left anything out, if you guys have questions or you want me to do like a part 2 for this type of video, let me know down below. If you want more like logistics on how YouTube works and all of that, like how we get paid and what kind of ways you can make money online, I would love to help you guys because I truly think that the internet gives us a lot of freedom and we can all utilize it. So with that said, I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow along on social, and I will see you in the next video.